Oh, look at that, I'm live. I'm still doing live. I just haven't been lately. A friend of mine, Barbara, she wanted me to do live on Saturday night, and I would have, but I just have too much shit going on. I have Lola going back today. Her mom's coming in town, so we're going to do the first lesson. And Leo's doing great. Leo's doing awesome, man. That dog is going to be a rock solid. He's a great athlete. They're both great athletes. It's just one of them. Hey, what's up? One of them's really tiny, and she's rock solid with shotgun now. I have video coming out where Lola's just, she's rock solid. She's doing great. They're both doing great. So is Leo. But there is, I have a client coming in, and it's a client from sort of the vicinity. Most of my clients are not from around Beaver Dam, so that's for sure. And there's a couple reasons for that. Economics, I think. And I think in rural areas, I think that I see dogs treated more as like livestock, sort of. Like if the dog doesn't work out, they'll get rid of it. But that'll happen in the city too. Also, larger populated areas. It seems like cost seems to be an issue with training a dog. I've noticed that there seems to be this cost association that, like, some people are like, oh, you mean I have to pay for that? I have to pay to have my dog trained? Yeah, you have to pay to have your dog trained. My time is important. I think that's a huge factor, but then when you price out the board and train, like how long I'm keeping it, I'm not expensive at all. I could raise my prices, and I've thought about raising my prices, and I've raised them as I go. But I really, my whole reason for this isn't to get rich. If I wanted to get rich, I would have a facility, and I'd have people working for me, and I'd tell them what to do and how to do it. That's not really what I want. I want to spend time with the individual dog, and I want to get that individual dog absolutely as rock solid as I can. So I keep it to 1 or 2 dogs. I've done 3. I could do 3. If I do 3, I can't get anything done on the house or anything else. 2, I can still get stuff done. I like to just keep it like real small, sort of like me as your dog trainer. Think of it as you belong to an exclusive country club, because I won't take just anyone. I won't. I have this Catone that's coming from Staten Island, and that would be, if I was in Brooklyn, it would be real close. If I was at the art studio, but I'm not. I'm up here, so it's a hassle for the owner to get the dog to me. Lola's owner, excuse me, I'm having some. I don't have a cold or anything, but I was down in the basement. I'm working on the basement, putting in some air ducts and stuff, trying to get this house warmer. I want to make it real inexpensive to heat, as I want to cut my heating bill in half. So there's a lot of dust and everything. I'm just, anyway. But Lola's owner had to drive, I don't know, 18 hours or something from up in Canada. So, when I started talking to Lola's owner, she's going back in just a few hours. I was like, oh, I want to train this woman's dog, because she just, she just had this, like, she had seen enough of my videos that she understood the basics and understood what I'm preaching. Don't train your dog with food. She got it. And it was really a hassle to get the dog down. We couldn't just throw the dog on a flight. That's how far up they were. It had to be like some kind of like, okay, let's rent the plane and fly the dog down to the United States. She ended up driving down to Niagara, and then I picked, you know, she drove 14 hours or 16 hours, something like that, so to the border. So I figured it was only reasonable of me to drive to Niagara to get Lola. So it's another example of, like, I really, if somebody's going to make the effort and get me the dog, I want to train the dog. I want to train that dog. I've had dogs that I've trained from Taiwan. Most of my clients are not from around here. That's for sure. Like around Beaver Dams. I had one time that somebody contacted me. It was a young woman that needed a service dog, and I don't know what she was thinking, but you know, I was willing to, like, I don't cut my prices and stuff because it's the same amount of work. But in this case, she had medical problems, and I really cut it. I cut the price as much as I could to where I was just like, you know, I had to pay for food, and she still couldn't come up with that. So I couldn't help her out. If I was a millionaire and I had a yacht or something, I would just train dogs. I'd just train somebody's dog for whatever, you know. You got $100, I'll train your dog for 3 months. I'll get it to be a service dog. That's not my situation. So I have to charge. I do have to charge. But it's one thing about my thing is my price is sort of low considering how long I will keep the dog. But I'm also factoring in that the people that are, you know, want me to train their dog will go out of their way to get the dog to me. So that's sort of factored into the price. Definitely. Like when Lola was coming from up in Canada, up north, I was, well, let me hold her. You know, we're both making an effort. So let me train Lola for 90 days instead of 60. That's what I prefer with a puppy anyway. If it's a puppy, I want to get 90 days in, because puppies aren't as, their brain isn't functioning, sort of like a human brain becomes the adult brain when it's about 21. When the human's about 21, then their brain's functioning as an adult. Same thing with a dog. Like once it reaches a year old, it's functioning. It's picks up on stuff quicker. So I do want to do 90 days with a puppy, especially if it's like if it comes in at 8 weeks. There's all those weeks that I'm not really getting much done. There's 8, 9, 10. I don't know, about 14th week, maybe we'll start giving corrections. It depends on the dog. And we step the dog up. You know, I don't want to overwhelm the dog. I just take my time, and, you know, I want the dog to have a good time. I don't want to make it real harsh. So it's easier to do a longer a longer period of time with the puppy and get the proper amount of conditioning in. And really, when the puppy comes in at 8 weeks, there's like 8 weeks, I'm waking up in the middle of the night, taking the dog out a couple times a night. So it's exhausting. It is exhausting, and that's another thing that the owners are paying me to do. I'm going to be doing a fan subscription on Facebook. It's $5.99, and I can't answer questions, dog training questions, on Facebook. It's $5.99, and you might not like the answers that I'm gonna, you know, give you, but I'm gonna give you the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll answer any questions on that fan subscription thing on Facebook, you know, as long as they're within reason. You know, I'll answer personal questions, but I also can help with your relationships. I think I'm a relationship expert. I think that I am. I mean, I'm not married, am I? No, I'm not. See what I'm saying? See, somebody's smart. I don't have my glasses with me. It looks like Tyler. It looks like Tyler because I see the car. I see this car with this red thing coming over. Thank you, sir. But so So the Katona I'm real excited about. When I was doing the Skype session, the woman just, I'm talking to her. She's an artist, and when I'm talking to her, I'm like, oh, this woman's like totally normal. Weird though, she might be part vampire because she's. I think she said that she's 65 or 66, and I thought that she was a little bit younger than me. That always freaks me out. Like I see these people that like. Um, they age so well. Like I don't. She didn't seem like the kind of person that had any work done. It's just genetics, you know. Some races, like some races of human beings, like seem to like handle aging better or something. Like their skin. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, some people definitely age better. So talking to her, um, I was like, I had already had some communications with her, and I had an email. It was short and sweet. The first email that I got from her was like, I'd like you to train my dog. What's your availability? Yes, yes. Not a big long description. I don't need to hear a description of what your dog's doing because I know what your dog's doing. I know. It doesn't matter. I don't. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter to me. As soon as I see the dog. And usually, like, I'll talk to the person before I pick up the dog, and they'll tell me it's leash aggression, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. I've seen it all. So I said when I was talking to her, I'm like, well, let me see him. Let me see Jules. And so she went and got Jules, and Jules total cartoon, like like cotton ball. She has the cotton ball cut on him. He's gonna be a pain in the ass to sort of keep clean. I might have to just flat out. I said to her, like, make sure, like Lola, I didn't do too much to her. I like clipped her toenails, and then like I combed her out a few times and I gave her some baths. But him, he's got like this, like his head is rounded. Do you know that look? So maybe I'll just take him to the groomer every 3 weeks or something. That's what she does. But I mean, it's like the big old puffball. If you know those dogs, they're awesome. They're awesomely friendly. They're smart. Well, smart as any dog. But they're friendly. They like to hang out with people. They like to work. But their hair is like they have this. They have like two coats. They have one coat. The undercoat is like this weird down that looks like cotton, and then they have like a longer like hair that's like it's really a bizarre kind of fur. If you don't you know be combing out the coton, they get mats on them real bad. I remember Luna was here doing a board and train, and she was just like a mess. There's I was just like telling the owner, yeah, she's a mess, and I'd obviously like at times I'd like try and deal with her, but I mean, whatever. The dog's being trained. A lot of people, they just take a dog like that and just like every month and a half they just shave it down, stuff like that. But I mean, I like the look of longer hair on a dog like a Catone, a Maltese. It's cute. It looks cute. So I try and keep that. I think that if I got a dog like that, like a Maltese or Catone, or even a Yorkie, the hair's not as much of a problem. I love that haircut that Jimmy Dresta's dog had. It was like he looked like David Bowie. Like it was like this, and then it was freaky. I loved it. There's some kind of name for that cut. The person that was cutting Chippy's hair said that that's a Asian fusion cut or something. I like it. That's another dog I've considered as a Yorkie. It's all the small breeds. Like I mean, I have big dogs, of course, but I like small dogs too. I don't really care what size the dog is. People ask me what my favorite breed is all the time. I just don't have a favorite breed. Maybe when I was younger, a Labrador, a Chesapeake Bay, because of hunting. I like the water dogs, I guess. Well, thank you. Needs. I don't have my glasses with me. Needs more. Try. I appreciate that, dude. Um, but I really don't have a favorite. I just like dogs, and I do see all dogs as very much the same. If you're working with a dog trainer that's like freaked out because of the size of your dog being big or small, you've got the wrong dog trainer. You do. You got to look for somebody else. The there's certain things, characteristics about some breeds that can be true. Like I have a GSP Tonka that's hyperactive. He's a hyperactive working type dog that would generally be used by like a hunting guide. It would be a professional type hunting dog, and you know, you can end up with those, or you could get a GSP that's more low key and more like a house dog. That's what I should have gotten. I love him. Don't get me wrong. I love him, and when I got him, I knew what I was getting, and I'm like, well, having a dog like this is just gonna help me better deal with dogs. I got a on purpose. I got a dog that was high drive and hyper and tireless. I mean, there's some things that you can say about some breeds, like English bulldogs, French bulldogs. There's things that you can say, but like they're all dogs, so it really doesn't matter because the things that you see like in a bulldog, you'll also see in a Chihuahua, or it's just in varying degrees. Like they're all the same. They're all a subspecies of the wolf, so it really doesn't matter. I can't think of a favorite breed that I have. I just even the dogs that are sort of difficult. Like I don't know if there's any there's no easy dog to train, but a dog that would sort of be um, like a like Leo a little bit, a Leo, but not I don't know, like an Akita. Like I'm not gonna do it. They could be fun to train because they are difficult. They are sort of like sets up a little bit of a challenge. It's not really even a challenge at this point anymore. It's just I don't care what is it, bring it on. But they're all the same. They're all a subspecies of the wolf, and they all can learn the same stuff around the same time frame. Maybe if you want the dog, maybe if it's an Akita and you're teaching the Akita to do reverse retrieves or something, which I've never taught an Akita to do that, but it certainly could learn. It might take an extra 2 weeks or something like that. But once I make the decision, I'm going to teach the dog to do this. That's it. I've made the decision. Once I start, I don't stop until the dog is functioning doing that. I'm with Leo. I sort of made the decision in the car yesterday. Was like I'm saying to myself, I think I could train Leo to do a reverse retrieve. And I think that I'm probably going to start. Once I take him out and start, then I'm starting. I'm just debating whether um, do I have enough time? I want him to be. I think I do. I think I do. I think I do. And he's getting so proficient with around shotguns and the dummy launcher, and I think Leo will pick that up real quick. Lola was not that quick picking up the reverse retrieve. It was difficult to teach her that drop means drop it out of your mouth, not release it into your hand. So it's taught drop is just release it when my hand is here, but that you need them to drop it. So I'll put the object in the dog's mouth. I'll say drop, and I'll start tapping it until they start dropping it. Sometimes, depending on the dog, I may even tap it and hit the vibrate button on the e-collar, and then tap, and then when they drop it, good boy, and they'll pick it up that way too. But I'm thinking I'm going to train Leo to do that. Maybe, I don't know. There's so many other things that I could do with a dog like Leo. It's like advanced retrieving. He's started scent work. He's figuring that out. Um, It all depends. It really all depends on the dog. I always like when I do a board and train. There's set things that I'm going to teach every dog, and that's going to be sit down, well, here, heel, and kennel. I'll teach the kennel as a kennel game so that they can do it from a distance. I've had dogs do it from hundreds of feet away, so that when the dog goes home, it can, you can work your dog inside. If it's snowy or whatever, you could have a kennel upstairs and you could be working at your desk or whatever. Your dog's at heel and you say kennel, and then, your dog goes to kennel, it's in the kennel, and you could call it back to here and then repeat that. It's a new house, so you might want to start at the kennel and work your way back to the seat, but they should be able to do it. I mean, Lola will be able to do it. Leo will be able to do it. And then hold, drop, and to pick up an object. Like all dogs must learn that. And I see this, like to a lot of people, some of the stuff that I do, they're like, oh, well, that's a physical assist service dog. Why are you working with a gun with a dog like that? Because I'm making the dog more stable. That's why I do it. I either work with a gun or a dummy launcher because that causes a huge amount of, excited, to get the dog really excited, but it's very controlled. It's extremely controlled, meaning I can pick the time that the noise is going to happen. I can also make sure that the dog sees what is happening. I can step out in front of them. I can have the dog on a leash. There's many reasons to use, and see, that's it. Like I'm amazed. I know that this sounds egotistical, but I'm amazed that I only have 45,000 subs on YouTube. I'm probably the only dog trainer in the United States that train Shibas to pick up keys, Maltese to pick up keys, a Maltese that can do a dummy launcher, a Yorkie that can do a dummy launcher, a Yorkie that can pick up keys. Maybe in the world. I trained the only 2 physical assist service dogs in Taiwan. People don't do it. They want to train a dog. They want to be a dog trainer, and they go to food training school or wherever, and they take the easiest approach for the dog trainer. And at my point, I'm 56, so it's all easy to me. But I've heard dog trainers say stuff like, well, I don't teach hold because it's a pain. Yeah, it takes some time and patience, that's for sure, but it's well worth it because once a dog learns hold, you have them going for it, and then you put it on the ground and they don't want to pick it up. But once you get them to start picking it up again, I don't want to use the term you've broken the dog. That doesn't really make sense, but I don't really have a term. But something has changed. The balance of the status has changed. I'm getting the dog to pick something up off the ground. At that point, everything gets a lot easier. I see a more submissive dog. I see a more compliant dog. So all the stuff that I do, it takes a certain amount of time. I have people contact me all the time that they say, boy, if you did a shorter, thing, you can make more money. Like I could do, $2,500 for 2 weeks or something, or $3,000 for a week and a half. Yeah, but the dog isn't getting conditioned properly, so I'm not going to do that. I don't care. It's about I'm signing my name. I'm putting my name on the dog. I don't want somebody having a dog that is crappy. I want them to function well. Now, with that said, I'm getting the dog to function well, and we do the lessons. But if the owners don't work with the dogs start, they sort of go. They do stupid stuff. Owners do. So the dog will start not functioning well and doing bad behaviors. I'll do a second board and train with the dog, and that gives the owner, a second opportunity to change their ways. And it's all about the owner and spending a few minutes of the day going over, and through the week, going over the things that the dog knows how to do at this point. If you're working your dog as a service dog, you're making it be compliant. You're training it anyway because you're making it be compliant. You drop your keys in Wegmans or wherever, and the dog picks it up. You're working the dog. If you're working the dog, but you should still do training with the dog with stuff that maybe you don't do when you're in a store working your dog as a service dog. Maybe you just go outside and have the dog sit and spin into heel. Go to the other side, sit, just coming into heel at sit. You have to work the dog. I have a dog coming back that I'm sure is going to be, his name's Bowser. He's awesome. He's a doodle. But I'm sure he's going to be all slacked up. So the owner wants to like get him to the next level. And it won't be that hard for me to get him back in line doing the stuff that he's already learned. We'll recondition all that stuff. We'll go over all that, and then we'll start adding new stuff in, making it more complicated. When that dog was here, he was a puppy. That was one of those dogs that came in at like 8 or 9 weeks, something like that. So I got the dog done as good as I can do it, but the dog's going back still as a puppy. I'm not saying don't send your dog as a puppy. Do it. If you have unlimited funds, you do that. You work with the dog and send the dog back for a second board and train. You're going to have something rock solid. So there's you understand what I'm saying? Like, if you have a job, and like Bowser's dad has his job, he's like, he's got people that work under him and stuff. So I'm sure that the dude doesn't have a lot of time to train the dog. And then there's the kids influencing the dog, the wife, the grandma. Well, actually, the grandmother's probably that's Bella's mom, and she might not take any crap from Bows. So she might be real hardcore with Bows. So do you see what I'm saying? Like, you get your dog trained so that you can work with it. And then a lot of people, like, they lose steam, send it off to do another board and train. But the ultimate goal is your dog's coming back from a board and train. You should be able to step in, and if you just keep doing it, you should advance the dog. And I've seen that so many times in dogs. Like, you advance the dog. It's like the more disciplined owners have an easier time. The more disciplined the human is, the better. I'm thinking about Luna's mom. She went home and she's like, she loved the dog. She took Luna home, and then she sent me a video of, she didn't even let the kids touch the dog for like 2 days. She listened to exactly what I said. I said, that dog is going to be living with those kids. She doesn't need to come in there and all of a sudden be hand wrestled with the kids and jumping on the kids. Don't do that. Keep the kids away. And she has a real good handle on the kids, and she was just like flat out, no, leave Luna alone. She's, decompressing. She sent me a video of like, they're in the kitchen. There's people over, and there's Luna off. She's sitting on a cot. She's staying on the cot like she's supposed to stay. That's the kind of stuff that I like to see. And then also, Luna's mom, she's sending me videos where she's using the kids to help train the dog. I'm seeing the kid take Luna through the weave poles. And then I'm seeing one kid, like, she has Luna sitting, and she has the kid, going around with a big wheel around Luna. That's the approach that you want to take. It's that initial thing. The dog's coming back. Okay? You don't let you don't have to take the dog to a store with the kids. So the kids are excited. They're kids. Right? That excitement's going to wear off. And that's another thing. The excitement's going to wear off. So why are you going to screw up your training by letting the kids like interact with the dog right away? The dog's excited to be back. Put the dog in a crate to decompress. Don't take it to a store. Then start working with the dog. You can bring the kids in later. That's what you should do. We have 4 million dogs dying every year because people are taking this unrealistic approach of like, oh, anything goes. Yay, the dog's happy. It's jumping around, wagging its tail. That's not wise. That's not wise. If you love the dog, you want to keep the dog. You want to have a conservative approach. And a conservative approach with your dog is not, well, the dog likes it. Yeah, they like a lot of stuff. They do. They like a lot of stuff. They can like anything. And the whole deal with training is you teach the dog to play, and you teach the dog what it should like and dislike. When I first start teaching a dog to do hold, you look at their body, they don't look like they like it. Well, they're going to, because my example is every dog that, she just pooped on me. Come on, Ram. She kind of, you know, went off, but that was pretty uncalled for. But the come on, Remy. I love her. It's all right. I forgot what I was talking about, but she distracted me by doing that. But you really should have a conservative approach with your dog. You uh, you know, don't be like anything that the dog likes to do. Just because the dog likes to do it means that it's good. No, generally speaking, not. Your dog functions instinctually, and it functions with trained commands. You want the dog functioning with trained, conditioned commands. All that instinctual shit is all bad. It's all bad for your dog. It's all your dog making decisions based on instinct are never good. They're never good. It's just annoying stuff, or they bite, or they, you know, it's all instinctual stuff. It's not good for your dog. It's an unrealistic approach. And how many times do we see this? The person that gets the dog but doesn't think that they have to train the dog, or they think that like using a oh, that's the other thing about the dog coming. I said, you know, I was like, we're doing the Skype, the Catone, and I said, what about wee pads? And she sort of laughed her, so I said, no, I know, we did not. She'd already seen my videos, and she did not bring wee pads in, and it sounds like the dog is rock solid. The Catone that's coming, they did some really good things. It's been on a leash the whole time, she said. She's kept a leash on it, which is good, because a lot of really nasty problems could have started. So that dog's coming in. It doesn't have a completely clean slate, but it certainly isn't pooping in the house, because they were smart and they woke up in the middle of the night and took the dog out. But I mean, the stuff that it's doing is related to status issues. Your dog's status issues can get screwed up very easily. It's very simple. Like, you let the dog on the bed. I'm a buzzkill, I'm sorry, but you let the dog on the bed, it starts seeing it as an equal. It's going to start treating you like a dog and other people like it would treat a dog. That's what I mean by status issues. If you let it up on the couch, once again, you're screwing up its status. You're telling the dog that it's an equal, and it's not. It lives in a human society. Your dog is safer and happier and more carefree. It's less stress on your dog if it knows its position in the pack, and that's on the ground, 4 on the floor, not jumping on people. It should never be encouraged. Don't even do that with a puppy. You get a puppy, and I know they're cute, but don't put it in your lap, because that puppy in a matter of months is going to grow real quick. And if it's in your lap, you're telling it that it's okay to jump, and it's not okay to jump on a human. So don't put it in your lap. Even the puppies, don't even sleep in your bed, no furniture, no people food. You'll avoid a lot of problems. People don't want to do that. They don't. Yeah, I'm live. I'm still doing live stuff. It's just I had to get back into editing. I had to make some decisions as far as cameras go. I'm only using, just so you know, I'm only using this webcam on the computer like this. I tried editing with the webcam, and I can't seem. It's just it won't come into the my computer proper, so I can get it in the program to edit. So it's screwed up. The other thing that I did was I took my phone, and I took the settings way down. I was shooting everything at 4K, so it was making it miserable to edit, because it would take so long, and then it would take so long to upload. It was just like, so it's like 3 or 4 months of shooting everything on 4K with this. And then, so I brought everything down to a reasonable, you know, setting. It's still HD, but it's not 4K. But I will still use live stream. I have some stuff coming up on live stream, but I just wanted to get back to editing. and shoot and film that way. I have to try different stuff. It's important for me to try different stuff. Like as far as like this medium goes, I had to do live stream, and I wanted to use the different kinds of camera. But I think that the phone, for me, the phone is perfect because I could put it in my pocket, and then if I want to shoot something, it's right there. If I get a GoPro, I just don't think I'll be using it. I have a Nikon over there. I never use it. What am I going to do? Like, oh, I'm going to go get the Nikon. I'm going to go get the Nikon to shoot what? Something dog training? People that are watching dog training videos are just doing it for educational, pretty much. So I don't even see that it's that important, as long as it isn't just absolutely hideous looking and the audio is sort of okay, it's fine. If I wanted to do a feature film, I would not shoot it with my iPhone. So, and I am going to upgrade this because I've had this for at least a year now, or maybe a couple years. I'll get the iPhone 11 so that I can I want to live stream on the phone, but I don't see that it's really possible with this without getting like this app. Like you log into YouTube on this iPhone 8, and then you also have to have like an app on your phone. So to have the app on my phone, I put it on my phone, and then I was gonna live stream. And they're saying a big warning, like from Apple or the iPhone, saying if you do this, this company can edit your stuff, they can delete your stuff, they have access to your account. I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I'll get the iPhone 11. I believe the iPhone 11, it's already on there, so that if you want to stream to YouTube, you can do it on your phone. Thought about I've thought about brand deals. I don't know. Like I don't even know what that means. All I know is there's money involved. Broad set of sponsors you could attract. People who sell dog collar. Listen, I'm real particular on the I know chainsaws and stuff like that. I understand that. Thank you, Linda. But I understand that. Like Jimmy Dresta does that. Like tool companies contact him, and then he uses their tools. I use a lot of tools too. If Lincoln contacted me and we want you to use our welder, and then we're going to pay me, I would do it. If I need a new car, I do a lot of videos in the car. Where are you, Honda? Give me a car, and I'll be talking about the great car that I have. I understand. It's just I don't know. Nobody's really approached me that seems like I want to deal with them. I certainly don't want to do videos for a $50 item. That's what they do. Like you'll have like a lot of people from China that contact you that are like, if you put that, we'll give you this product if you mention it. And it's like, I don't really want to do that. Like, product placement. I do that with products that I make no money off of. Like this is a real good quality. This is a quality product. This live kombucha, I like it. I like the root beer. They've been out of it. But I mean, I'd certainly do that. I love Wegmans. I mean, there's companies that I love, and there's companies that the products that I do use that I really like. I like Browning. I like Browning shotguns. Browning, where are you? I don't know. I'm working it out. It's no big deal. It isn't. It all happens when it happens, and it doesn't seem like there's anything that you can do to, at least in my life, to make things go quicker. I'm doing everything as quick as I can, and that's all it is. I don't know. My life has never really been about money. I guess that has an aspect to it too, is that I don't have this like even with dogs, like a business person would be like, Okay, we're gonna do a 30-day board and train. Pick your dog up on day 31. That's not me. That's not me. I want the dog to be as good as I can get it, and it doesn't have to do with me making $500 less or $1,000 less. It doesn't. I'm it's my priorities have never been about money, I guess. It's not that I don't understand my worth. I do. I understand my worth, but I don't know. It all work out. My Remy's not helping me here. See, when the bird flaps like that, and birds have dander. Like, I don't know if you know this. Like, you'll see, like, if I'm wearing like like a black shirt or a dark blue shirt, you'll see like dander on there. That's not from me. That's from birds. Birds have dander, and like sometimes you'll see them. The bird will shake real quick, and there's just like this puff of like white, like dander coming off of them. It's everywhere. Some birds, like gray parrots, have a lot of that. Pigeons have a lot of it. It's just dry skin and stuff, and it's just like she does that, and then I've already, like, because I'm working in the basement trying to increase the airflow in this house, which it already has. It's made a huge difference. I'm like moving stuff, and then there's this dust falling on me, so I'm having some issues here, and I'm out of Zyrtec. So that's fascinating, isn't it? Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. Thank you from. I think that's a British pound, maybe. I don't know what that is, but I do appreciate it. Um, Once again, I do want to mention that I know Facebook's for old people. It is. I still have that Facebook page, Peter Caine Dog Training. There's like 50,000 followers on it or something. It's, I will be doing a question and answer thing on there, like a subscription based thing. It's all set up, I believe. I believe it's ready to go. And I was thinking about doing that here, which it would be like sort of a question and answer thing in regards to dogs. I don't see why not, but I would imagine at least 50% of the time I'm going to be saying something that you're not going to be happy with. It's important that if you have a dog, you hear the truth. You got to hear the truth. You don't want somebody that's going to tell you, oh, yeah, it'll be okay. While we're on the subject, I want to talk about bonking. Bonking is something that has been put out by the mainstream dog training people like Jeff Gellman, Gary Wilkes, all those people that do that IACP thing. Not all of them, but a lot of them. They think that it's acceptable to tell people this is what bonking is. You take a towel and you roll it up and then you tape it. And then when your dog's fucking up, you smack the dog with it. That is so bad. If you're doing that with your dog, you're going to fuck up your dog. You're going to fuck up your dog. You're going to make him into a freak. Don't hit your dog with anything. You come down with the dog like that, they start, they get all hand shy and shit. So don't do bonking. That's really stupid. I don't know how Jeff Gellman, why he's as popular as he is, or any of these people that are recommending this. I guess people are like, the dog bothers them or something, or frustrates them. So hitting it with the rolled up towel makes them feel better. So they see Jeff Gellman's. He has a video. I mean, he did. Maybe he took these off, because I know that K91 put out a video talking about this with clips of Jeff. Jeff was talking about actually like choking a dog out. It's just like, what are you talking about? I've never done that, Jeff. I've never done that, Jeff. And I guarantee you, like, K91 took the video off because I guess Gellman said, you better do it or else I'm going to sue you. Well, Jeff, go ahead and sue me. Go ahead and sue me. I saw the video. I saw what you said. So, I've never choked out a dog, and I don't really know of any other dog trainer that's choked out a dog. And I think his quote was, you know, bare naked choke to where the dog passes out. Like, what? What are you talking about? Use Jeff Gellman if you want. Use Gary Wilkes if you want. But you realize what they're telling you isn't so hot, okay? You don't hit a dog, and then you have somebody that has, like, he's big in the ICP. He's talking about choking out dogs. Too bad, Jeff. Too bad. I'm not Canine One, am I? No, I'm not. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna go. Don't bonk your dog. Don't listen to this nonsense. Don't have a towel rolled up and taped up so that you can bonk your dog. Any object that you hit the dog with, it doesn't matter if it's like, say, even a cardboard tube to wrapping paper that's hollow, right? But the dog perceives it as a solid object. You'll flip out the dog. It's very detrimental to your dog's behavior, and it's not going to make the dog trust you, I'll tell you that. So them telling people to do this is absurd. So don't bonk your dogs. Don't hit your dog with anything. The only exception that I can see is just like if the dog, you're teaching it hold and drop and it's mouthing it, you can do that. It's about the same as petting the dog too. You come down like this, you should pet the dog on the chest. That way, you know, the dogs, like, they function different than us. So like if a dog was walking through the woods and say a branch was falling, it would catch it in its peripheral. It would have the instinct to go like that. So if you go towards the dog's head, right, they see this object coming towards them. It's just movement. They start doing this, and then all of a sudden the dog's acting hand shy. So pet them on the chest, and only pet them when they're being good and being compliant. That's a perfect place to pet them. They're sitting, pet them on the chest. Don't do that. Don't ever hand wrestle the dog. Don't do that. Sorry, Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. It's a lot of people that I think are not really, shouldn't really be in the line of work. I find Jeff Gellman an interesting guy, but now, since I saw Canine One's video that he put out, which Canine One took down, but I mean, it was clips of Jeff saying it. So, and it wasn't really taken out of context because it was like this section that was like, it wasn't. And he does bonk, and I think that if you want to find out how to bonk a dog, there's a video on how to roll up the towel and tape it, or at least there was, Jeff. So there's not much you can do, is there, Jeff? Because the video's been put out. So even if you took it down, what are you going to sue me for? I'm telling the truth, right? I don't really care if I don't care. That's the point. Canine One cares. I don't. So, I don't really want to get my channel into like any wars, you know, none of this like bullshit. It's just stupid. I don't really even care. I don't respond to people. You know, go ahead, say whatever you want, but be careful who you're choosing to train your dog. And like I said, I'm like an exclusive country club. I won't just work with you because you have money. It has nothing to do with that. I have to make some money, but it has nothing to do with that. So anyway, that's it. I'll do more live streaming coming up. Lola's going back today. I got a video coming out in about 40 minutes or something. And then that might have been Lola's mom. Conrad, how does... Yeah, okay. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Especially you all that super chat it. It does not go unnoticed. I'll tell you that. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all. Have a good day.